Hello, welcome back to Frag Chat with Smelly and Smurfy. So, this week we're going to be talking about a couple of different subjects. First, it's going to be fragrance addiction.
Big topic.
Yes, and then we're going to be introducing you to some fragrances from a new house that we haven't tried yet, and that is Abel Perfumes. And as usual, we've got Troll of the Week and a couple of other little minor things maybe here and there that we're going to tidbits that we'd like to share with you. So, first subject, is that going to be the fragrance addiction?
Yeah, but shall we do Scent of the Night?
Okay.
Scent of the Night.
Scent of the Night for you is?
I am wearing Marc Jacobs Decadence. This is the original one, not the flanker. Crazy ass bottle, and it smells beautiful. Smell me.
It's really, really nice, but I was a bit stumped how I should describe it, so you summed it up well.
I think it smells like chocolate violets and strawberries. It's really smooth, it's a bit sweet. It's definitely a gourmand fragrance, and it's quite beautiful, I think, for a designer.
Yeah, agreed. Really
good.
Yeah, that doesn't seem worse than a lot of your niche ones that you really like. You know, it's right up there. So surprising with the I like it's a quite high quality bottom. The construction doesn't feel cheap, so really good. I am wearing 611 or 611 Extremo, and that is by, I'm going to be careful, Giovanna Antonelli, the famous Brazilian actress and TV personality who has now gone into the world of fragrances. Not a celebrity fragrance like a Jennifer Lopez. I think she's much more involved in the brand than those kind of scents. So really nice niche fragrances, and this one is a little bit of a suntan lotion coconut thing mixed with some fresh citrusy elements.
It's a tuberose fragrance, but
tuberose,
it's not
tuberose.
over the top tuberose. It does smell like suntan lotion and coconuts, and I feel like it's rich and resinous and more grown up than the average beachy scent.
Absolutely, yeah, and probably maybe many people feel that it leans slightly feminine, but I'm perfectly happy to wear it.
Smells good on you. I like it.
It's got a fresh citrusy element.
Yeah, it's a bit fresh as well.
A unisex kind of thing. So just a bit of floral. So if you're a frag-haired man, you're probably not going to have any issues wearing that one. But of course, women could smell great in that one too. So those are our scents of the night. So let's have a look at the main subject, which is fragrance addiction. Okay, so there was a recent video by Drakdoc, the Cody from the channel Drakdoc, one of the really long-established and great fragrance reviewers from the States, and he talked about the problem thing of fragrance addiction that many of us in the fragrance community either suffer from or know people who do. And there was a famous video a few years back by Dell from the channel Bottom Note that's about the same thing, and a lot of people also were posting in Facebook groups after the Drakdoc video, and it came up into our minds again.
Yeah, and there was a lot of comments on Drakdoc's video that every reviewer should cover this subject because there clearly is a problem. I don't know if it's necessarily a fragrance addiction as just a hobbyist buyer's compulsion. Yeah,
there's probably a more general thing that is common to many other different hobbies where you buy things, but as we're specifically into fragrances, I guess we'll deal with that. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right that whatever causes it is probably the same. It could be fragrances,
whether you collect watches, whether you collect shoes. Smurfs.
Yeah, it's a very small number of
but
yes, but we'll talk about fragrances specifically, and it does seem to definitely, once you get to the point where you're interested enough in them to be watching this video or other YouTube reviewers on a regular basis, or to be in a Facebook group, many of us, stroke you, seem to have a slight compulsion to buy more fragrances than any human being could need. And have
around my room.
We've got it too, and have a collection that obviously goes beyond the need to have some things to smell nice. But that isn't necessarily a problem if you love to collect and you can afford it and you live within your means. Yeah, fine. You've accepted I want to collect stuff. That it might not be a massive problem. But what do you how do you think there are some examples where we can see maybe people are not doing it in a healthy way?
Yeah, I mean, we see it in our Facebook groups all the time, and there are certain people in particular that we spot buying very expensive bottles of perfume, like completely blind, telling the world they love it, and 2 days later selling it again.
Yeah.
And at a quite dramatic loss.
Yeah.
So, you wonder, why didn't they get a sample?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, you can get a sample of almost anything if you.
Yeah, you're right.
Or exercise a little bit of patience, but I think some people they're just.
They want the
desperate. I need to have it now. I want the whole. I want to unbox it brand new.
Yeah.
All
they
that
want
kind
the
of
thrill
stuff.
of the blind buy, maybe, even though they know
the
they
risk.
can get.
Yeah.
So do you know people, or are you one of them who do things like that? Because I'm sure many of us, whether you're in the UK or anywhere else in the world, are seeing this kind of behaviour go on a little bit. And I mean, if you happen to be really, really wealthy with a great income, maybe that doesn't matter. But you suspect in some cases, because we sometimes see people say, "Oh no, my car's broken down, so I'm having a clear out to try and afford it," which obviously suggests you shouldn't be that close to your bottom line and still buying expensive fragrances, should you?
No.
Probably.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lack of reality, maybe, just the desire or the need to buy the next bottle is taking over the fact that the bills are going to come in as well. And I think it's worse when you first start.
Quite possibly,
Do you agree?
yeah.
I was a bit bad when I first started at blind. I was never that bad, but blind buying things every now and then that were a mistake, or buying too many decants because I desperately wanted to smell something.
Right.
And I just buy decant instead, and then I end up with decants, shitloads of decants.
And even that can add up if they're 10,
they're all like 10, 15, 20
yeah.
quid each, and then if you smell it once and think, oh, it's not what I expected, and you just put it in the whatever box, that's money down the drain, really.
It can be, yes. So we're keen to hear your stories and what you think about the whole thing. I think Drakdog's video said he knew people who said they'd sort of gone bankruptcy, or really had caused some financial problems, and sometimes we sort of enable each other and laugh about it, and sort of say,
definitely do.
That's no holiday for my kids this year, ha ha. Is funny, but you wonder if sometimes that's literally happening with people. So
I mean, it can ruin relationships, can't it?
Yes, exactly. I know people say I've got a PO box, so stuff doesn't get sent to my house, so my partner doesn't.
But
know.
I mean, imagine you are sort of struggling a little bit, and you've got kids to feed and what have you, and one of you goes and spends £150 on a bottle of perfume, but you can't afford to put the kids on the school trip, or pay the gas bill or whatever.
Yeah, can't fix the boiler.
It's going to be that would be a test of anyone's patience, wouldn't it?
It would. You can see why people would get annoyed about it. And also, exactly. And also, you suspect there's some people who, maybe haven't bought any new clothes for a while. They've got like 85 really expensive niche perfumes, and then
they
maybe
smell divine, but they look like shit.
Maybe sometime. I'm not thinking of anyone specific, but you wonder,
look at you. I mean, you drive around that old banger, don't you?
That's true. I do have an old bang tapped out car. So yes, okay, yeah, so fair. Yeah, so stuff like that. You want to have that balance, don't you? You need to have some good fragrances, and maybe you have more of those than any. You're into fragrances. You're not into designer clothes or whatever. But you try and keep track of the overall picture of having. It's a decent car and a home and clothes to wear, or if we're just talking about the grooming and the styling and the presentation, then you should have some nice.
Well, you don't even need to spend if you only care about smelling good.
You
do not need to spend much money on fragrances at all, because there's some really amazing cheapies out there.
Yes. So, what should we? And we want your feedback too. What are some tips to avoid being too far into the fragrance addiction problem? What can we do?
How do you spot it?
How do you spot when you have got that problem? At what point is it a problem? Because I used to buy quite a lot, but it's a bit different because we've got a channel, so it helps. I need to have some kind of collection, maybe, to have a channel. And I've slowed down a lot in recent months and years, haven't I? Yeah. Really.
I think when you first started your channel, you were buying retail creeds and stuff like that, weren't you?
Which wasn't a good thing to have carried on with. What are the signs that you think you might have an addiction to fragrance buying, or that even that it's not an out-and-out addiction clinically, but it might be a little bit unhealthy? What kind of things do you do, or do you think other people should do, Claire, to avoid that problem.
I feel like I'm in my interview again.
So there's 4 things about this and that. So yeah, what? Any ideas?
Well, you
I can
see
think of
people go on buying bans, and
Yeah.
some groups actually are really good about that. And if you sort of say to the people in your group, look, help me, I really need to stop buying, I'm overspending.
Yeah.
Usually the community spirit will come through, and people will actually look out for you and say, if you look like you're about to buy something, people will step in and say, are you sure you really need that? Why don't you get a sample first, blah blah blah. So I think relying on your friends in the fragrance community is actually quite a good thing, but you have to be honest about the fact that you've got a problem in the first place.
Right, that's
What do you think?
I think shopping your wardrobe is a good thing. I've heard of this
What does
in
that
fashion. It means
mean?
instead of think I have to buy, I think it comes from not necessarily fragrance, but maybe people who buy too many clothes. If you've got loads of good stuff, which a lot of people with fragrance collections have, take time to really sit back and enjoy your favourite fragrances that you have in your collection.
Yeah.
Maybe post about those on your favourite Facebook group each day, scent of the day. I really love this one. Or like you've done, maybe pick out your 5 or 7 fragrances for the week.
Yeah.
Claire sometimes often does that and used to do a video about it, and see how much good stuff you've got.
Yeah, because you can fall back in love with, I mean, he just reached to the back of the shelf of your collection and pulls something out. You'll be like, you'll smell it and think, why the hell am I not wearing this more often? And I think I could do that with a lot of my fragrances, and I love them all, so I don't need to buy any more really.
Yes, so we want your tips, and there's a couple of our thoughts on how we do it. Obviously, setting a limit, a budget is one thing. If you can do that, if you've got the self-discipline, say I'm only going to spend £100 a month, that's still quite a lot.
You could say save up £20 a month and then spend 100 in four months.
Yeah,
or,
that's a very conservative amount, but
but if
good,
you're, if that's, it depends what your budget is, doesn't it? So
yeah.
So I've
That's
got
sensible,
a few expensive fragrances, but I made myself save up for them, and I also split them. So you can subsidise your purchases by splitting down some of the juice if you can be bothered.
Yeah, that is a good thing to do.
Because you're never going to get through all that juice. So you may as well split it out, and then you get some money back.
Good. So splitting can make things not so expensive.
Yeah.
Setting a budget is good. A buying ban is good. Enjoying what you've already got, and sort of maybe spending more time with the fragrances you already have, really important. And maybe I would say also try and visualize, once you've got that fragrance that you're lusting after and it's arrived and you've opened it and sprayed on a few, and then you wake up the next morning, how much better off or happier are you actually going to be?
Yeah.
And try and just think about that.
I don't know, when I got my Iris Ganache, it literally made me, like, my life went up notches and it stayed there.
All right. Yeah, it is like, well, we all suffer from it a bit, but I think you and me have probably got ours within a
I think we're under control, really. You're you buy the odd bit, you buy like more sort of cheapies and vintage stuff, but you're not too...
Nowadays I've started more to buy the odd £20-25 thing that's either a cheapie or a vintage one.
And you can also buy travel sizes. So I've just bought a couple of travel sizes of the Sylvain Delacourt Venori that I fell in love with. Now I was teetering on the edge of getting a full bottle. But I thought, what the hell am I going to do with another 100 mils of perfume? So I just got 2 7.5ml travel sizes. So if a company that you like does do a travel size, even though you pay more per mil, realistically, do you really need a full bottle if you can get a travel size? Worth thinking about. Yeah,
good point. Yeah, and even samples can be good instead of the blind buys.
I think you should always sample if you can.
Yeah, and you could always use my special code of 10% off at Fragrance Samples UK with the code Smelly August, which is great. That is a really great place to buy fragrance samples in the UK or around the world. So yeah, sampling in general, at any place you happen to choose, can be a really good way to get that thrill of smelling something, and then you didn't spend all that money, and if it turns out it was okay but not the best thing ever, you've only wasted £10-15.
Nothing lost.
So those are some of our tips, but we need more help from you, and let us know what you think about the whole fragrance addiction issue. Now, without trying to tempt you to go and rush out and buy things you can't afford, here's a new house that we've tried out recently that we are quite impressed by some of their fragrances.
So this is Discovery Set from a company called Abel, who are based in Holland.
Ah, I didn't know they were in Holland yet.
I think they are. I could be lying. So there's samples in here. We've also got a couple of other samples. So we're just going to talk to you about our favourite ones.
Yes, they sent us 7 in total. I think
1, 2, 3,
there's
4,
5
5,
there.
6, 7, yeah.
And then there were a couple of other ones. And Peter from Fragrance View did a first impression sniffing session on these. So I may put the link in the description if I get round to it, or you can easily search it out on his channel.
If you forget to give him a nudge.
Yes. So
shall we talk about the one I've got on my left wrist?
Yes.
So I have got White Vetiver.
That's really interesting and nice.
So to me, it's a very dry, woodsy vetiver. It's really, really strong actually. And I get almost like a syrupy jasmine floral kind of note in there as well. The vetiver's more dominant. It also smells a bit like pencil sharpening, cedarwood, ISOE super, maybe a hint. No, it's all natural. There's no ISOE.
Ah, yes, their range are all natural, we should say. So, yeah.
Kind of fresh and just a hint of this sort of jasmine-y floral.
Yeah, there is a bit of a floral
which,
element to it.
It's almost like a vetiver dominant fragrance that's just going to be slightly more appealing to a woman that likes vetiver as well as men.
Right, I think. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's very vetiver-y.
Yes,
but
I thought it was very
vetiver-ish. That
ish.
makes it more appealing to my nose.
Really nice. I really like the bright citrus opening
very
element
strong,
as
isn't
well.
it?
Yeah. Yeah, so far that's smelling really strong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but both of us like that one.
Okay.
Was there another one you really liked?
So on this hand is... Sorry, scratch my head, I've got fleas. On this hand is called Nurture.
Oh, yeah.
Also put it there. I think I'll put more there.
Oh, yes, more strong there, yeah. Nurture, okay.
So Nurture is... that's not, yeah, it's Grey Label Nurture. Spray sample. It's supposed to be about mothers, by mothers, for mothers, nurturing. Let's have a look. Uplifting orange blossom, calming rose, grounding sandalwood, and you can definitely smell woodsy notes. But to me, again, it's more of a cedarwood smell than
cedarwood.
I'm really getting.
Yep. And it's supposed to be something to do with mothers, hence the name Nurture, because it says a gentle reminder to take care of yourself while taking care of your little one. So it clearly would appear, actually, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a woman or a man, does it? So I'm probably being sexist, but it suggests a tiny bit that it might be aimed towards women.
Yeah,
but
to me, it's almost a bit Neroli Portofino-ish with cedarwood pencil sharpening's background, and it's got that soft musky thing, and sort of the white florals Neroli thing. So it's quite nice.
Very nice, easygoing, everyday kind of fresh
just
scent.
quite comforting.
Maybe comforting if you are a busy working person with a child to look after. I can see that could be something comforting to spray, or in any other circumstance. But yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, it's an easy grab and go kind of fragrance, really. What was your favourite then, Mr. Smelly?
Well, I was quite impressed by Cobalt Amber, and I'm not sure you liked it as much as I did.
You like it more than I like it.
It's really good.
But I don't dislike it. I mean, yeah.
So, right, okay. Yeah, you did like it a bit.
Yeah.
Cobalt Amber. And one of the that's really nice. What I really like is the tonka note in that one, which I think we've got a note listing somewhere, but I'll try and find it. And so it's more sweet than some of the others.
I think there's patchouli in there, isn't there?
Yes, definitely. Oh no, hang on.
It smells like it.
No, well, not necessarily. Pink pepper, cardamom, cacao, tonka, and in the base amber. So it's sort of sweet with the chocolatey tonka thing and amber, a little bit reminiscent of Veuve Delicios.
Yeah, something like that.
But
quite sweet, a little bit spicy. I definitely get patchouli. I would say there's patchouli in there as well.
So maybe with the patchouli and the tonka, that reminds me some of my old 70s, 80s gentlemanly classics, but it's not.
It
not
smells
really
like
that
a
way.
modern amber.
Yes.
With the excess of tonka, which
A
seems
lot of
to be
tonka,
a thing
yeah.
these last couple of years.
But a really nice natural smelling tonka, and of course they are all natural. So I really like that one and find it rather charming and different, and it's somehow also reminiscent a little bit, but less sweet, of Fève Délicieuse by Dior. So that was that one. And the last one I only discovered last night that I really liked, wasn't it? Was Grey Labdanum.
Yes.
And that one is kind of green and woody, and
a lot of patchouli.
I think this one does officially have patchouli. Really, really nice. If you like things like Creed's Bois de Portugal, which I'm well known to like, you might just enjoy Grey Labdanum. So a hint of bitter orange and violet open this cool labdanum rich fragrance where dark incense and ambergris collide with warm patchouli in a harmonious clash. So it's got top notes of bitter orange and pink pepper, in the mid patchouli and sandalwood, and in the base labdanum and olibanum, which I think is otherwise known as incense. So that's the dark incense. Really, really nice.
You get a lot of the patchouli.
Yes, definitely.
Which kind of has that old school feel.
It does, yeah.
And
a bergamot kind of greenness.
A little bit of freshness.
And
I can see the olibanum.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, because it's not my kind of thing.
Understandable. So if you like classic gentlemanly scents like Guerlain Heritage or Bois de Portugal by Creed, or even La Lique Pour Homme, the EDP, you might like that one. But at least there's something different, because with these little white bottles and some of the themes about nurturing, you thought they might all be a little bit safe and nice, and but they're not bland. There's a real different.
Definitely not. There's one more I think we should mention though.
Range there.
Which is in the envelope. This one I wore on my wrist just the other night. I'll just spray it onto the envelope. This one's called Green Cedar, and I really like this one. It's got a minty freshness.
Definitely minty.
And then you do get pencil sharpenings, and you kind of get that moist wood, and it's really fresh, a little bit peppery.
That is really nice.
And then I was getting a bit of cumin coming out of my skin, like ever so slight bit of curry-ish note, but it didn't hang around too long.
Yeah, it does have that cumin, a bit like John Varvatos Artisan Pure has a little bit of that, I think, in it.
I think that's really nice. And this one, I popped it on my wrist in the evening, and the next day when I woke up, it was still present. Now, bearing in mind these are all natural, completely natural, that is impressive.
Yes.
Very
because normally
impressive.
natural to smelling fragrances that are all natural tend to often suffer from performance issues, because the synthetics are partly there to help stuff last longer and smell stronger. So yeah, so far we've really enjoyed quite a few of those. We didn't mention all of them, but really an interesting line, and we'll put the link to their website in the description if you'd like to know more.
You can get the Discovery set on their website, and I think they do like something where you would then, if you make a purchase, the cost of the Discovery set would come off the purchase, I think.
Right.
But we'll put the website up anyway, and you can check it out.
And do we remember the prices?
Was it about £90 for 50 mils ish?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
So interesting
not bad
niche
for
range.
niche,
Yeah.
and I think they're quite impressive. They're kind of it could be beginner niche. They're not weird, not
No.
there's nothing there you couldn't wear.
No, they're not really weird and challenging.
No.
But they're not.
They don't smell like designer fragrances either.
Exactly.
But they're very nice combinations of notes that.
They have the
good.
likability of designer fragrances, but a little bit more individuality than most of those.
That's got a lot of personality.
Oh yeah, that's good. Which was
that's the white vetiver.
Okay, so that's Abel Fragrances, definitely worth checking out.
Yes.
Last but not least, then, or last couple of things, then we're going to talk about Troll of the Week. So we had a fun one on my latest video. Last one, well, one of the last ones before this one, on Deux Fragrances, Queen of Spades versus Xerjoff, Pikovaya Dama. So I'd made a joke in the intro that Chad from Gentleman's Journey's hand had swelled up based on his thumbnail, where his hand looked really big. So,
okay, so
what's the person's name who said this?
It's someone called Enlarge My Prostate.
So he might be a troll, maybe.
So Enlarge My Prostate says, same thing happened to me. I wore Brute to the strip bar and my penis swelled to twice the size. Perfumes need to come with a health warning. Wash your hands after applying. Handling your penis with this fragrance will cause swelling in genitals and hands.
I think we have nothing to add. Thank you to him. That was a very good troll comment, but harmless. Relatively harmless.
That's what we like, harmless
comment.
Fun. Yeah. Harmless fun.
So thanks ever so much to him.
Yes. So I think we've got one more thing.
Okay.
So all we're going to do is tell you about what we're going to talk about next week.
Yes. One of the things in the next episode is going to be...
So we have been sent some samples from a company called Nidor. They are Scottish and they are all here. And we'll be talking about them a little bit more in depth next week. We thought we'd just give you a little preview of that.
And if you'd like to be prepared for that video, go and check out their website. You can probably find out a bit more about them, and we can share the knowledge together, can't we? And who knows, you could even buy samples, couldn't you, for our next video and sit along and sniff with us if you like to.
Sniff along with Smurfy and Smelly. That's a whole new episode.
It would be great to do that if anyone's got the stuff we're going to be talking about. So we'll try and give you a heads up before each episode of what some of the things in the next one.
Yes.
So that's it. No drink of the night tonight. So we were probably a bit too well behaved. So sorry about that. We'll try and be tipsy in the next one. But thank you very much for joining us. It was great to see you. And we still haven't got a catchphrase. So let us know any suggestions for our channel catchphrase. Until then, keep smelling great, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye bye.